All right, we are back in Studio K with Grotesque Abdication. How are y'all feeling coming off that performance?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Thank you so much for having us on. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Do you want to take a minute to just introduce yourselves, your names and your instruments?
Yeah, Hero.
I'm Tyler. I play guitar.
My name's Alex Trunsky. I do the gutturals.
My name is Harrison Marshall. I'm guitars and second vox.
I'm Robbie Megan, and I do bass.
I'm Heather Buxel, and I play drums, and I also do vocals.
All right, and do you want to tell us about the songs we just heard?
Yeah, so the first one was our introduction, and that went right into Hollowed Visions, which was the first song we played together as a band.
What was that, like August? May?
Yeah.
May? Yeah, I just turned 18 when we learned that song. It's a banger. It's great. Slam too.
Yep. And then we went from that one into Unyielding Permanence, which is a track that it is unreleased as of yet. And then we went into Cast from Flesh, which is the second newest song we've written. And then to Spectral Torment, which, of course, as was mentioned, features Fear the Dark, Dave from Fear the Dark.
Local legends.
Shouts out Dave. Shouts out Gnarly Printing Co.
Yep.
Saving our lives.
And your first release, Demonstration Through Oppression, just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was sort of a lengthy recording process.
Yeah, the actual recording process was pretty easy. We went with George Records. Huge shout out George Records. It only took about 2 days to record the instrumentals and the initial vocals, but we had some hiccups with re-recording some vocals, and the mixing process took some time. But at the end of the day, we came out with a product that we're all really proud of, and I think what matters most is that we're happy with how it sounds, and we're super excited for everybody to listen and all that.
Sweet. And speaking of labels, before the interview started, I heard you guys talking about like Nuclear Blast and stuff. And I was just curious, is there like a dream label for Grotesque Abdication to be on?
So certainly the label that we would love to get signed to the most is New Standard Elite. We think that they're putting out just the best brutal death metal in the world right now, with bands like Submerged, Nuclear Remains, like Cenotaph. They have just tons and tons of great bands. Human Mastication from the Philippines. Yeah, so New Standard Elite is definitely the label that we want to be on the most.
Although if Maggot Stomp is listening, if Maggot Stomp's listening, we wouldn't mind a little deal skis or something.
Of course.
Okay, shopping around still. Yeah. And I'm curious about like the origin of this band. You said y'all have been around since the summer.
Yeah, so we've got our origin process, I think, is kind of interesting. So what was that, like, I think February? Well, February of like last year, me, Harrison, Tyler, and Heather were like, we should do a black metal project. So we made like a group chat and stuff where we started working on the songs, and then we figured out like we don't really want to do a black metal project. We do, but not that much. But and then towards like April, May, we Heather and Harrison started working on some like kind of slammy, some like a 2-person slam, and then I was added in, and then Tyler, and then we were officially Grotesque, and we practiced quite a bit over the summer where we did a lot of just practicing. We played a couple shows at the start. Then we added the big T, Alex, in here as our vocalist, which was desperately needed, and I think is one of the grandest additions to the band. I mean, yeah, we had originally it was just Heather and Harry on vocals, right? And then we've got a full-time growler now. So yeah,
Sweet.
that's kind of how the story goes, I guess. I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah. And what is a Grotesque Abdication?
Now you asked a question.
Well, so actually the origin of the name was we were talking about band names, and we had just added Robbie, I believe. And so one of the things that me and Robbie are both really interested in is World War I. And so I literally went to like a Wikipedia, some sort of a wiki, and went through just terminology. And I wanted to add something death metal-y and then a word. And I found abdication because, the abdication of the throne of the Kaiser at the end of the war. And so I was like, you know what, that sounds kind of cool. It doesn't really have a whole lot of literal meaning. I like to think of it as maybe like a king abdicates in some sort of gruesome way, you know, to really shock the serfs. But you know, that's the origin of it all.
And surprisingly, no, we're not like we're like we'd call us like a sci-fi horror band, right? So kind of not in line terminology-wise with the genre that we're going for, but still really cool. I remember sitting in the dining hall like in Sanford, just talking about that for like 3 hours because we had a couple other names, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Not on it. No leaks.
I don't even remember them.
Another project might come.
And so, I totally know the answer to this, but just for the listeners, what separates brutal death metal from other types of death metal?
I'll give this one to Alex.
Okay. Death metal, we have your standard, Morbid Angel, Deicide, Obituary, Death. What makes it brutal is mostly production, but because asking to differentiate death metal subgenres, we could sit here and talk about just that all day. But brutal death metal, shout out Suffocation. It's like when it gets slow and groovy, that's kind of what makes it brutal. Is that groove. So like Legion of Veracity, that breakdown at like 2 minutes in or something.
I mean, and we got a couple of those breakdowns too.
Yeah, because it's not just because slam would be just it's that constant breakdown groove, but what makes it brutal death metal is it's got that speed, it's got that intensity, but then we're gonna break it down on you right there and then.
Peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, it's the emphasis on a groove and palm muted guitars and very distorted vocals over the early death metal, which was much more in line with thrash metal. And so that's how I characterize it myself.
Okay.
Before we get on to the next session with the brutal death metal, I want to shout out Devourment. Because if we have to point out for one inspiration, it's Devourment. It's Suffocation, Devourment, but like 1999, MTD, 138. That's it. That was a change. Shout out Texas death metal.
Huge boss up out there.
True. And speaking of some of the classic stuff, I was curious if we could go down the line. What's everyone's just like classic old school death metal?
Okay.
What's your favorite band?
Cause of Death, Obituary. It can't get better than that, honestly. Body Bag, Infected, Cause of Death, Find the Arise. It's just hit after hit after hit, and I love it so much.
Essential.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we're talking about like old school literally, but like for me, Devourment, Suffocation, Traumacide, Limb from Limb, like those bands, and seeing those kind of come back up in popularity is awesome. Dang, I'm trying to think of one more, but there's just amazing bands. But yeah, probably just Devourment, Suffocation, and Traumacide, for sure.
Talking old school death metal, I take a lot of inspiration from Baphomet, as well as like Pestilence and Gorguts are, I think, my top three. Of course, some of those Swedish bands like Entombed, I believe Grave is also from Sweden. I also look to those guys a lot.
Yeah, kind of same thing with me. I mean, I honestly don't even really listen to a lot of EDM, but I do, or even death metal in general. But I do really like me some Entombed. Obviously, Devourment's a huge inspiration. Butcher of the Week's got like probably the coolest album intro of all time. That's a really good spin there. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the third person in a row to say Entombed. I really like Clandestine, but also another one that's, I guess, not lesser known, but like not one that you think of is the first Dark Throne album, Soulside Journey. I used to warm up with Cromlech because it's just insane, and then they made Fenriz play blast beats for 30 years.
True.
That's that one.
So then kind of moving on to the songwriting, when you all are writing these songs, is it kind of taking influence from a variety of genres, or is it kind of strict brutal death?
Yeah, so I mean, when we started off the band, our group chat is still called Slam. So we went originally, we were pretty heavy into the very slow, groovy stuff, but really as time's gone on, I've been looking more to like Repudiation, Devourment, and a lot of that faster, more groovy stuff. But I do look to, I mean, metalcore, hardcore, and deathcore are all three genres that I have a lot of experience in, and I hold very close to my heart. And so I also take a lot from that. Prayer for Cleansing is a favorite of the band. You can see some influence there. With the aesthetic and the interludes of our band, you can also see a lot of dark ambient, dungeon synth, black metal inspiration. If Robbie, if you want to speak to that.
I mean, resident black metal person here. Yeah, a lot of the while me and Heather were writing the synth intro or the synth interlude, I was taking a lot of inspiration from like dungeon synth bands or artists like Old Tower, Old Sorcery. I mean, I got a Thegorodrim shirt on right now under this, and that's a great one. Yeah, but stuff like that. Black metal vibe-wise especially has been a huge influence for us. Despite the sci-fi themes that we kind of shoot for. But yeah, I mean, and also like a lot of video games, obviously. I mean, if you know your stuff, the some of the background stuff in the synth intro is actually sampled from Fallout 3. It's just like some old warehouse ambience or something. But yeah, it's kind of that.
I know at the very least Harrison and I are big on Quake. That's another big inspiration, the first one.
Alien, Videodrome, Exorcist. Gosh, what else? Doom. Yeah. Yeah, Cronenberg. H.R. Geiger.
So yeah, we draw from a lot of different, a wide range of inspiration generally.
And are the lyrics are generally sci-fi themed?
Yeah, do you want to speak to that?
So there are lyrics to this.
Were there lyrics before you joined, or was it just?
No. The funny part about me joining was it was all just kind of like Harrison just shot me a text, and it just kind of happened to work. But yeah, no, there are lyrics. It's sci-fi and kind of religious based, especially Spectral Torment. We do plan on, I'm sure we'll probably have like a CD release with like a lyric pamphlet, so we learn on that. But me and Harrison will shoot back and forth, kind of what the idea of the song was and what we want to talk about. But it's there, but you may not hear some of them. But especially shouts out to those little duets we do.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, and again, back to the different genres of inspiration, we take. When I'm writing lyrics, I think a lot of Prayer for Cleansing. I think that their lyrics with the flowery language, almost Shakespearean, is a huge inspiration for us. So, yeah.
Sweet. And I'm always curious about, this is the first death metal band we've had in a while, and I'm curious what you all think about like the death metal scene in Minneapolis.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get. We need more. We need more people to start death metal bands. 'Cause unless someone wants to hit me up with more.
It's like 2 locals.
Yeah, there's 2. Shouts out Fear the Dark. Shouts out Spinal, and I'm sure there is a lot more. But the ones that I see constantly out are Spinal Fluid and Fear the Dark. But yeah, we need more. Tyler, is there?
What?
Oh, you know more. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got tons of death metal bands here. We got Visceral Reaction. We got Fear the Dark that we've already been mentioned.
We've played what?
Mortura, shout out them. Death Thrash.
5 shows with Spinal Fluid.
Oh yeah, we've played one show without Spinal Fluid.
Our second show without them is today.
Yes.
But in general, I think the scene is really going through a big death metal wave right now. I think there's a lot of people who are looking to brutal death again, and there's a lot of motivation to make that kind of music because there's a lot of people wanting to hear it, especially not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country and internationally. There's tons of people trying to find new brutal death metal bands, and I think that Minneapolis is definitely one of the places that's putting out a lot of, not a lot of it, but that's has its foot in the door for sure.
Yeah, I think in general, the Twin Cities just has the best scene for extreme music, metal, hardcore, anything.
Our hardcore scene has been nuts for
It's been there's so many great bands. I could go on and on just shouting out all the good bands from the Twin Cities.
Which I'm going to right now. Shouts out Eyes of Sorrow. Shouts out Chain of Hatred. Shouts out Out for Blood. Shouts out Seraph. Shouts out Padlock. But no, Twin Cities. I love Twin City. The Twin Cities community is amazing, and we put out, I argue, some of the best music out there.
It's fun. I like doing music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And kind of building off that, if Grotesque Abdication is playing like a dream bill, you all can pick like one band, broken up, still together, dead or alive.
Okay.
What is that bill gonna look
All
like?
right.
Devourment 5 times.
Regurgitation from me, slamming Brutal Death from Ohio. They've recently rejoined and they're doing shows here and there. Phenomenal. They have. I'm hoping to go out to a show sometime and see them. They're amazing.
Devourment. But Reputulation. You mentioned it. I can't believe I forgot that. Reputulation, Purging on the Imperial. Oh, that is one of the best demos I've ever heard in my life. That is groove beyond. Yeah, we need Reputulation. My golly.
And I would say Human Mastication from the Philippines. They're a huge band for me, for my songwriting process. So I'd love to get them in America at some point.
I'm gonna just go with the basic Devourment, dude. I love Devourment. I think if I could have a chance to play with any band in any setting ever, like in any type of band, it would be Devourment. Because I just think they've got something really special a lot of other bands don't have, I feel like. And yeah.
Skinless, dripping.
Oh, dude, how did I forget?
And to make Harrison really mad, I would put like peeling flesh or something on there because it's blocksectomy. Shout out Gimmick Slam. Shout out Slam Andreas.
Yeah, you done with the mic.
And then, of course, special shout out to Suffocation. I mean, we don't even have to shout out Suffocation, but we'd love to play with them. I mean, they built everything that we kind of steal at this point, because that's how metal is kind of just an Ouroboros of songs. So, but yeah, that's our dream lineup.
And then final question is, what do you have coming up that you want the people to know about?
Yeah, we have actually today we have a show, and we're super excited to play that. We got put on by Tonkavids, one of our great friends.
Shout out Hunter. We love Hunter. I'm looking for you at home, boy. We love you.
And then we have a few shows with Deterioration and Maul, and then with Rakuyo and Sanity Slip with Brutal.
Shouts out Barking Dog Zine. Shouts out Barking Dog Zine for doing our CDs at Tonka Fest and hosting us for that fest. Oh,
Yep.
And I want to say, like, yeah, we're playing the show today. We got shirts, we got tapes, we got CDs. We'll all be there, surprisingly. And I want to say, just like, I know from all of us, shout out Drew over here, our like band's best friend. He's like the dog of the band. He's our best friend.
Nah, no, you guys at home, you can't hear him, you can't see him, but Drew, he's the backbone of this band. He's been supporting us from day one, and he's one of my best friends, and he's just the goat. He's the best.
Shouts out.
And to rein it back in, yeah, we have a good selection of shows in January, February, and then we have, hopefully before May of next year, we're gonna have a single out with Unyielding Permanence. Hope maybe a split coming soon, but there's some new music coming, and there's some good shows coming. So yeah.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. But thanks so much again for coming in, y'all.
Thank you.
thank you.
This has been Grotesque Abdication on Radio K, Real College Radio.